President Cyril Ramaphosa will officiate the Armed Forces Day commemoration. It's happening at Thohoyandou in Limpopo today. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis has more on this commemoration. Chriselda, very good morning. We're obviously looking at the SS Mendi tragedy, its relevance in 2026. And so as we look at the commemoration set for today, talk to us about what's set to transpire beyond 2026.
Well, a very good morning to you, Lisa, live from Thohoyandou here in the Limpopo province. And this is where the 2026 commemoration of Armed Forces Day will be taking place. You'd recall the last one took place in 2023. And in 2024, we had a bit of financial constraints. 2025, the nation had been in mourning, you would recall, with the tragic killing of 14 of our SANDF members in the Democratic Republic of Congo while on a peacekeeping mission. Of course, you'd recall that South Africa's National Defence Force has been involved in peacekeeping operations for over a decade, and not only in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but in countries like Burundi as well. So today, a very special day marked on our calendar, the 21st of February, back in 1917, with the sinking of the SS Mendi ship. And of course, we had 646 of our SA Native Labour Corps members who were killed in that particular tragedy. So today is the commemoration, and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Cyril Ramaphosa, will be presiding over today's commemoration. Just behind me, you'll see this is where the stage is being set for that. But preceding his address right here behind me will be a wreath-laying ceremony just to mark this important day. But let me bring in the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Rutsani Mapanya, who is with us this morning. General, thank you very much indeed for joining us. A very important day marked on our calendar that we commemorate today, Armed Forces Day, a reflection exactly of what took place in 1917. But of course, just looking at South Africa and the role that it plays, of course, in peacekeeping operations on the continent still.
Thank you, Chriselda. The role of the South African National Defence Force cannot be underplayed. We had been involved both in peacekeeping. We started off as early as when Burundi was having challenges. We sent troops to Burundi, and these are the people that made Burundi to be what it is today. We had been involved both in the Eastern DRC under the United Nations, and subsequently we also participated in the SAMI DRC, that is the SADC mission in DRC. But that is not the only place that we were involved in. Before we went to DRC, we were in Mozambique, in what we call a SADC mission in Mozambique. So we had been very much involved in trying to stabilize the region and ensuring that there is peace and stability in the region.
Let's talk about the importance of today.
Today is a very critical and important day. We are not only commemorating the sinking of the SS Mendi, but we are paying tribute to all the soldiers that have laid down their lives for both our country, the region, and the continent. So we are doing the little that we can do to at least honor those who have sacrificed. We are also bringing the defense force that belongs to the people, because we have got a social compact with the people of South Africa. So we said, because the defense force is from the people, is for the people, we therefore must bring the defense force to the people. And that is one of the reasons why we are here today.
But it's not just peacekeeping missions, General. We know that in the recent disasters that the country has had in this particular province, as well as in Mpumalanga, you also had members of the South African National Defence Force go and assist in those particular areas. Is there still deployment there? But that's also a critical component of what the SANDF is able to do.
We continue to be involved internally. In terms of disaster management, we had always been reactive and responding to challenges that faces our people. You will recall that we have defined our philosophy of defense from the perspective of human security to take away all vulnerabilities that faces our people. So disaster, it's one of those areas that we are so much passionate to ensure that our people, when they are in dire straits, we go and assist them. We had been in Eastern Cape, we had been in KZN, we had been in Western Cape, we had been in Mpumalanga as well as here in Limpopo during the period when our people were facing floods.
General, let's talk about the latest one. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Cyril Ramaphosa, announcing just a couple of days ago that members of the SANDF will be deployed to various areas, in particular where there are struggles relating to illegal mining and other social ills. When is that deployment taking place? I know that there were measures that were being put in place. When can we see those boots on the ground in those various areas, including the Eastern Cape, Gauteng as well?
We have accepted that we will be deployed, and if I may say, we have started with the deployment because deployment starts off with the preparatory stage. So we have finished the planning, we have interacted with the police, we have now started sending in the initial element for the deployment, which is the reconnaissance part of it, which then brings in both those who are going to deploy as well as the intelligence gathering effort. So if I say, when are we going to start? We have already started.
But when can we see those boots on the ground?
In the next few weeks, you will be seeing vehicles starting to roll so as to ensure that we reassure our people that we have not just made a gesture. We are going to deploy, we are going to flush out those illegal miners, we are going to deal with those gangs. So it is not an if. We have started. We are not going to disclose as to which areas are we going to start at and where have we started with the intelligence gathering effort, because intelligence defines what we will do in operations. So operations are relying mainly on intelligence.
General, just very finally, I know I'm running out of time, this is quite important. South Africa has announced that they'll be pulling out of the DRC. Talk to us a bit about that. When are we likely to see a full pull out of the MONUSCO arrangement pertaining to the DRC? Or are we looking at a phased approach? What is that likely to look like?
When the Commander-in-Chief made that announcement, we started with the planning and engaging with the United Nations because MONUSCO, it's a UN mission, and therefore withdrawing from the United Nations mission requires that there is interaction between ourselves as a country, because we are a troop contributing country, and the United Nations. So we had started making arrangements. United Nations has a role to play. We have a role to play. My logisticians have already putting in place the withdrawal plan in terms of repatriating the equipment that we have, as well as ensuring that the personnel that is in DRC will be coming back.
General, thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate it. The Chief of the SANDF, General Rudzani Maponya, speaking to us on a number of issues, the importance of Armed Forces Day, and also on a number of issues, of course. Recall President Cyril Ramaphosa, the commander of the Armed Forces, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, talking about the deployment. The General, of course, Rudzani Maponya, indicating that they're going to deal with those gangs in those areas where that deployment is going to take place. He says in the next couple of weeks, we're likely to see boots on the ground in those areas, including the Eastern Cape and Gauteng that the President had mentioned. And of course, very critically, South Africa also mentioning the withdrawal of its troops from the MONUSCO arrangement in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He says that approach, of course, in consultation with the United Nations, they will start with the repatriation of some of the equipment in those areas.